If you're watching this video, then that means that Sonic Daybreak, a fan game made by me and my friends, is finally out now, which you can download on GameJolt, link in the description, and I want to talk about it. So, first off, let's make something clear before I continue. I am not the creator of this game. Novazaru is. I saw like 2 people think I was, and I just wanted to stop that before it potentially gets out of hand. So, what is my role in this project? Number 1, co-lead. I help plan, direct, and a bunch of other miscellaneous things alongside the other leads. For a while, this role was internally referred to as visionary and co-visionaries, and I think that name alone gives you an idea. Number 2, the UI designer. Nova did design some things like the title screen, which is absolutely beautiful, but all the menus you see in-game were done by yours truly. And finally, the level designer. Yes, I am the sole level designer of Sonic Daybreak. Yes, my cock is massive, I know. This is the most important job of mine as, well, I mean, no levels means no game. I thought I'd take you guys through these things in deeper detail and show you guys the thought processes about everything I've done. Anyways, the thing I'm here to talk about the most is level design. What are my inspirations? What did the early levels look like? The inspirations for level design changed pretty frequently throughout the game's development cycle. Obviously now it's been pretty cemented, it's just now a matter of improving on what we've got, but for months my inspirations would constantly change. The main one at the start was Sonic GT. The freedom of that game was amazing, and you can still see some of that game's DNA within Daybreak, even though we've pivoted over time to much more of our own thing. However, when I started out, I completely missed the point of what made GT's level design so good. The only thing I took away from it was that open meant good, when there's so much more to it than that. This led to a first build of the game that looked like this. Ignore the visuals, they're obviously not done, but Jesus Christ, this layout. This stage is total dog shit. In an attempt to make something as open as I could, I ended up with a confusing jumbled mess of a stage, if you could even call it that lacked any direction. There was nothing cohesive about it, it was just random bullshit. I also had a crazy obsession with loops at the time, you can tell just by looking. The inclusion of this many loops was crazy because, 1, they fucking sucked and were subfunctional, and 2, added nothing. You could skip over each and every one of them. Skipping over stuff is fine when it's done right. I say that because obviously skipping is something you do in Daybreak. But this isn't done right at all. It's not even done wrong, it's just done. Look at this section real quick. Now watch how easily I can just jump over it. It's entirely pointless. If skipping takes less effort and is easier to do and requires less brain power than the main path, it's no longer a skip, it's just the main path. The main path here at best is a suggestion. Now another thing here that is completely absent from the current game is the volcano section. Originally the final stretch of this level would have you platforming around the volcano, eventually making your way inside of it. I never got to the inside of the volcano, but this section outside remained for a couple of builds later, but was eventually removed because it wasn't fun and the stage was already too long. The level would grow with each new build as several revisions were made over the course of a year. My inspirations changed as well over this period. The biggest inspirations from no particular point in time was Shadow Generations, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Adventure, and the classics. So, fucking everything, basically. This resulted in a weird mishmash of inspirations for the level, but as we got sooner to the release, I struck what I found to be a pretty good balance of them all. Oh yeah, the last inspirations that weren't Sonic was Mario Galaxy and Astrobot. In the few months before release, I came to a realization that I want to make sure this is a platformer. This is around the time I missed the platforming roots of Sonic and wanted to make sure first and foremost it was a platformer. Keep that in mind. Minty Slopes was the second stage I started, and it began around November 2024. This stage didn't go through nearly as many revisions as I had gotten somewhat better at level design at this point. The biggest thing from this stage that was scrapped was Big Tree. At least that's what we called it. It's where the section before the town is in the current build, and it's exactly what it sounded like, a big fucking tree. It wasn't absolutely deplorable, but it was kind of boring. It could have been so much more. And I was right, because the section it was replaced with is way better and one of my favorite sections. While I said there weren't as many revisions, there was a giant one that pretty much overhauled 50% of the stage. This was only like 3 or 4 months ago. Before this, the stage was very linear. Current Minty Slopes has 2 distinct paths, but for a while it was just one of them. This entire second route was added and a good chunk of the level was completely redone. Oh, and remember what I talked about with platforming earlier? Yeah, this revision added a lot more platforming to Minty Slopes. And it's the reason that these little fire guys, I think they're called beamers, even exist. A common complaint about some Sonic fan games is that the obstacles, the enemies, they're not really there. And so we were just like, okay, but what if they were? It's not much right now, it's just him pretty much, and then just, you know, egg puns. We plan to add more enemy variety in the future, even going back retroactively to Tropical Haven to add some. But yeah. Platforming good. Oh, and the visuals were done in a month. I think one of the craziest parts about Minty is that the start of August, it was pretty much blockouts with any models being present being placeholders. In under a month, it went from this to this. This can be attributed to this beast of a man, Lorenzo Pace. You might know him if you've seen this video. There's nothing too interesting to say about R2 really. Never went through any crazy revision, just a visual overhaul. At one point it had no music, so that was really fucking eerie. The windmill kick part of it was added a day before Sage though. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Now there's a lot more stuff I could talk about, but to be honest, I think there's a lot more that could be explained in the future instead of now. What I do want to say though is that I am so insanely happy with the reception of Sonic Daybreak. We were insanely nervous before we put this game out. That is an understatement. It's not that we weren't confident, it was just the fear that people would play it and not have it click. And don't get me wrong, for some people, it doesn't. We were worried, despite our best efforts to polish the game, that many bugs would slip through the cracks. And don't get me wrong, some of them did. However, despite this, people like this game. There isn't any real way I can put into words the happiness and joy I felt seeing people react to the game, complimenting it, trying to speedrun it, what have you. I've been pretty much stalking YouTube to see if anyone has uploaded Daybreak content, and there's a good handful of them. But seeing what some of these people say, seeing the comments, seeing people speedrun, and doing all of this made the launch of Daybreak probably one of the most happiest times of my life. I can't recall the last time I've smiled as much as I have recently. I knew people would like the game, but just seeing the passion and love that other people hold and express is genuinely beautiful to me. I know our game isn't perfect, I know we've still got a long way to go, but to see the reception to the initial launch be as positive as it is, despite these shortcomings, is astonishing. Thank you so much to anyone who's played Daybreak. I promise you there's more to come. One thing we've heard pretty frequently is the concern that this game will get cancelled, and while I understand the thought process, I really believe this game will have a final demo with everything we wanted included. I know shit can happen. I could die tomorrow and suddenly, project over. But like, we have this shit planned out. Not to like spoil our own game or like our future plans, but at this very moment, we largely know how the story will play out, every playable character and how we're going to handle them, and we know every single stage that will be added in the game. We have a plan here, and we hope that you see the vision. I love you all. I'll see you all soon. Peace. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video ranking every Crossworlds track, by the way, so look out for that. It's a really good game.